everyone. So I wanted to do this video because I saw a basically like a post from an author that I read years ago. I haven't read her in a while. I would like to get back into her books, or at least her other name. You know, she has an other name for her books. So I guess on the author's page, you know, it's Nora Roberts. I guess on Nora Roberts' page, there were people who were being really rude to her assistant who handles the social media, and also being very demanding and entitled. So she decided to write a blog post, and I'm like, damn girl, good for you. To me, there are authors who are very entitled and very rude to their readers. But on the other hand, there are readers who are very rude and entitled to authors. Authors do not owe you a relationship or happily ever after for these characters if they don't want to. So why demand it from them? So it's fallintothestory.com. This is Nora's notes. So it says, Nora shares some thoughts. Big, giant wow. So she says, some readers will complain that this post isn't upbeat and happy. I'm sorry, but I feel strongly there are things I must address. I promise I'll be posting happy blogs down the road. Gardening season's almost here. Kayla's college graduation is around the corner. Girls' spa's coming. There will be cheerful posts and lots of pictures. Anyway, for the not upbeat and happy. Recently, Laura, who's the social media person, her assistant, began posting random posts on the Rob FB page. If you don't know Nora Roberts also writes as JD Rob. And we'd reached a point too close to newer books and don't want to spoil them. Apparently, this gives a number of readers an excuse to demand, and it came real close to demands, sometimes over the line, why Eve and Rourke couldn't have a baby. Oh God, let me say here, we don't mind readers responding with courteous, Nora said no because, or something along those lines. There's just no need to pile on, as the poster might be new to Facebook, might not read the blog where I've certainly explained my thought process on this. However, this escalated into a particular poster telling me to open my mind to the idea that Rourke told Eve he wanted children in a previous book. Listen, sister, check your entitlement at the door. What absolute arrogance, telling me to open my mind to kids. Hello, these are fictional characters, ones I created in a series I control, plus wantings, not having. I write what I write, and I have good reasons. Explained far too often. Don't like it? Don't read it. And don't think you can tell me what to do, what to think, what to write. Hell yeah, sister. Yes, gentle reader, I said that. I am not here to be a slave of certain readers' wants, needs, whims. Again, I write what I write, and these are my characters in my books, not yours. They are yours to enjoy or not, but they belong to me. They come from me. 100%. Another was upset that I didn't give Eve a good blood family member. This reader had read the blog, even cited my reasons for not doing so. She didn't agree and was adamant in her opinion of what I should do. Wow. You don't have to agree, but I'm not writing for your particular point of view. Again, I've explained my reasons for this. I won't do so again. My characters, my books, my decision. If you want something else, read something else. And yes, I said that too. Blast away, it changes nothing. I am not obliged to meet an individual's demands. No, Peabody and McNabb will not marry and have progeny anytime soon. Morris will not find a new love of his life anytime soon. Eve and Rourke will not get a puppy. They will not have a child, and she will not discover a kindly grandmother or delightful cousin. Don't like it? Sorry, not sorry. I do understand and have no issues with a new reader or a new to the blog or Facebook asking these questions. You don't know until you ask. Yeah. I strongly object and refuse to tolerate readers who tell me what I should do, need to do, must do, and get pissy with it, or fucking tell me to open my mind. So there's that. As far as I know, I don't think Nora Roberts swears, or if she does, she does much. So the fact that she said fucking, it tells me she's pissed. It says then on the Nora page, there has been a wave, a tidal wave, of people who just don't read the post and ask, what book is this? When is it out? What series is this? Is this an old book? Is this a new book? Etc. When those answers are in the post. People don't read the post, or very easily Googled. People skim, don't actually read the information. Then Laura has to answer their questions multiple times in the same thread because many don't bother to read her previous answers in those comments. When Laura, who has more patience in her pinky finger than I own in my entire body, finally writes a cranky publicist post outlining this, asking people to read the information or do a quick Google, some commenters suggest she retire, find another line of work. Wow. Says they call her rude, say she's not suited for customer service. I will not put up with that crap for one quick minute. Thank you for defending your assistant, Nora. Says there would be no social media for me or for my readers without Laura. There you go. She answers repetitive and yes, lazy questions over and over with courtesy and patience, but she's not entitled to finally hit a wall and say, please people, pay attention, or take a few minutes of your own time. Suddenly she's rude, not cut out for the job. She should pass it on to someone else. Here's what I say to that. Bite me. I love her. I love you. There you go. She's so funny. I write the books. Laura handles the social media in addition to other things. It's a lot for both of us, and both of us love our work and try to do a damn good job of it. You don't like what we do and how we do it? Go somewhere else. Seriously, go away. Someone posted that they were tired of social media administrators admonishing readers. Boo fucking who? Oh, she's pissed. No one would admonish you if you didn't deserve it. God knows Laura tolerates much more than I would in her position. Oh my God, I love her. She's so funny. Now let me add, I need to get back into her books because it's been far too long. So now let me add, most of you who read this are appreciative or courteous, are respectful, and actually have a sense of humor. We're both grateful for you, seriously grateful for you. We value you. We want to keep all this going for you. So thank you, and I hope you continue to enjoy the books and the posts. To the others, let me repeat, bite me. Do not tell me what to write and how to write it. Do not, I swear to God, have the stunning nerve to tell Laura she's not good at her work and should move on. This woman is not just my personal publicist and social media goddess. She's my friend. She's my goddamn family. Seriously, who are you? What makes you so incredibly special that you dare to say such nasty and rude things to her, to me? And if you believe you're entitled to do so, go away. Please, for the rest of you, just enjoy what we both try to provide for you, for all of you. And if you think any of this is easy, think again. Once again, thank you, all of you who understand and appreciate. This helps us get through these weird times. Nora. Oh my God. That was great. That was great. I'll just say that. There are things that annoy me with authors. There are some things that annoy me with an author, but what I don't do is I don't harass them in their social media. I don't harass them on their Facebook pages. I don't do that. Why? Because I save my anger for my review. I do not go and harass or tell an author they should go and put this couple together, put that couple together. You realize this is coming from this person's brain, okay? They're making up these stories. Like I remember years ago, right now I'm reading Charlene Harris's Sookie Stackhouse series. From what I remember years ago is she ended the series with Sookie getting together with this one particular character. There were fans who absolutely hated that. They sent that poor woman death threats. Death threats over a fictional character. Death threats. What the fuck is wrong with you? What are you, an Annie Wilkes? I think that's the character of Stephen King's, Misery. Are you fucking Annie Wilkes? Do you have to go and get so fucking mad and butthurt that an author decides to write a story a particular way that you need to harass not only the author, but the author's assistant who helps her with the social media? Who the fuck are you? Who are you that makes you so entitled and demanding? Fuck off. I hate people like this. I hate readers like that. I will never harass an author in their social media because they didn't get this character together with this character. This is the reason why you have reader groups that you can go and complain and say, oh, I hate that the author didn't put these characters together. I would have loved if these characters were together. You do not harass the authors. Who the fuck are you? Seriously, who are you? This is ridiculous. So for me, it's like, yeah, reading that, I was heated myself. I'm like, who the fuck dares to tell this author who's been doing like not only Nora Roberts, her regular writing, but she also writes for J.D. Robb. This woman is a fucking beast. That woman's a beast for the amount of books that she puts out. There are people who question whether or not like she has a ghostwriter or something like that. I don't know. But for me, this author puts these books out as fast as they can. This is the problem I have with certain authors, is that they keep listening to their audience. And like, oh, you need to put these books out faster. And then guess what? They get these books out faster and the quality isn't good. How about you let the authors take as long as they need to write this book or write these characters in this book so that way it can get published. I remember years ago, there were like how many people who were on this one page that they were talking about, basically like Lisa Kleypas or something like that. And they're like, oh, I just can't wait to go and, I want this book now, and all that stuff, demanding like basically, all these books like, very quickly. But I'm like, you do realize that most authors, it takes them at least like a year to put out another book. It could take them months, or even longer than that to write a book, especially if they want it to be good. You want shitty quality? Okay, then wait for this person to quickly put out a fucking book within 6 months, Otherwise, if you want something of actual quality, be fucking patient and wait. The fact that you can't read any other fucking author out there. I had a little amount of authors that when I first started getting into like, romance and things like that, certain genre. And I was like, oh, this person doesn't have a current book out yet, or that person doesn't have a current book out yet. And I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with my time until then? Oh, let's discover new authors. Let's look for new authors. I have so many authors to get through that it's like, by the time I get to this other person, oh, they got a new book out and I can read it. The fact that you're so fucking rude to these authors and demanding that they need to put these characters together. It's seriously, what is wrong with you? You need therapy. Go to therapy, because there's absolutely something wrong with you. So I don't blame Nora Roberts for putting her foot down. She has the right to. She has the absolute right to do that. If you're a reader and you think it's right to go into her, go onto her Facebook page and demand all this stuff, you need to leave the book space. We don't want you here. Leave the book space, because you are being really nasty to these people. This is the reason why there's some authors who don't want to handle their social media. She has an assistant who's handling that. So you think you can be rude to her assistant? You don't think that her assistant's not going to say who exactly was being rude? Nora Roberts can easily go on that social media and say, you know what? block, you're blocked, no more updates for you, bye-bye. I guess you got to make another account. Maybe next time you'll think twice about opening your big fat fucking mouth and saying rude shit to people. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I was scrolling through threads and I found that, and I was like, respect to this author, because that's just absolutely ridiculous. The entitlement of people to demand that from this author. Just absolutely ridiculous. And now it makes me want to go and fall into the story.com. Now it really makes me want to follow this and read it, you know? And yeah, it's been a while since I've read Nora Roberts. Like, I first got into her when I first started reading. But shit, I'm going to put my email in and I'm going to have stuff come to my mail, because respect to that author, because that is just ridiculous, you know? So yeah, as a fellow reader, this is to other readers. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop demanding all of this stuff from your readers. Let them take the time they need to write that book, so that way when the book comes out, they spent a good amount of time on that book instead of just thrusting something out and it's shit. And then you're complaining, this book wasn't really that good. Oh, geez, maybe because you demanded for it to come out within 6 fucking months, you know, when you could have waited the fucking year to put it out, you know? You could have waited, but you didn't. Now, you got a shitty book, and then you're going to complain about it. Ridiculous. So, yeah, I thought that was... Yeah, someone had comments that seeing Nora Roberts swear feels like catching your high school English teacher at the store with an issue of Playgirl in her shopping basket. Exactly. Oh my God. I'm like, that was glorious. Thank you. Thank you, Nora Roberts. I think, you know what? More readers they really need to be, you know, scolded like children, because some people are just ridiculous. I really don't understand the entitlement. I never, like, the amount of years that I have been a reader, I have never done that to an author, because I'm like, look, why would you do that? You're putting all this pressure on this author to finish up this series, or, you know, or like, what's his name there? George Martin. What is it? He's the Game of Thrones stuff like that. Was it George R.R. Martin or whatever it is? Is that what his name is? I don't read it. But, you know, people were like, oh, he, you know, hasn't wrote the last of whatever the series in like 10 years. And it's like, yeah, I realize it's a long time, you know, and that can be frustrating for somebody, like, if you want to finish off that series. But maybe the guy just doesn't have any more ideas for that series. Like, maybe the person bit off more than they can chew, and they don't know how to finish off this series. Series can be tricky to finish, you know, especially when you want everything to go perfectly. So honestly, it's like, I would just read something else in the meantime. And like, if the person does come out with another book, great. If they don't, oh well, you didn't get you know, you didn't get it. I mean, I had that from an author where they did a series and then they never finished it off, and they went off to something else, and they said they would finish it. There was like at least 2 or 3 books that they still had to finish, and then all of a sudden it's like they just stopped writing it, and I was like, okay, all right, I guess, you know, we're not going to get the end of that series. And I'm like, all right. But then she ended up starting like saying something else that really pissed me off, and that kind of put me over the edge. And I'm like, nope, I'm done with that author. I'm not reading anymore. And that's what you can do. Like, if you're a reader and you find more frustrations with this author's books than likes, probably don't read that author anymore, and then go find someone else to read. She's not begging you to stay. If you are not happy with how many of this author's books, or how many of like maybe the character's not having a happily ever after, then find something else. Especially like the J.D. Robb series, as far as I know, that's more of like, was it procedural or crime kind of thing? They're not going to have like romances with like happily ever afters and shit. You know, if you're looking for happily ever after, read a goddamn fucking romance. Nora Roberts, she will write romances, but her romances are not, they're kind of like in the mix of like a women's fiction. That's the way I kind of think about it. She doesn't write like highly detailed sex scenes. You know, she doesn't do that. So, I first started Nora Roberts at the beginning of like my reading journey, and I haven't read her in like years, but I did have Angels Fall. I read Angels Fall years ago, and I did read Northern Lights. They made movies out of these. I didn't like the movies. Was not a fan of the movies. Because for Angels Fall, they cast Heather Locklear, and I'm like, I felt she was too old for that role. No offense to her. No offense to the actress. But I felt like she was miscast. You know, they should have casted, they should have cast someone, not casted, but cast. They should have cast someone who was younger. And for Northern Lights, I do not like Leanne Rimes. I think she sucks. I don't think she's a talented singer, so I don't listen to her. And I don't think she's a talented actress, so I don't watch her movies. You know, she did like, I think 2 movies or something like that. Yeah, I don't like her. I personally do not like that woman. I think she's a biatch. But yet I don't go on her social media. I don't harass the woman. I don't go on there and harass her and tell her she's a bitch. She don't need to know that, you know? And she's not going to be watching this video. So for me, it's like, just wait patiently for this author to come out with like some new books, or understand that these characters are not going to get together if she's already explained this, you know? And then read something else. I mean, honestly, I don't understand why people are fucking rude as shit. I don't understand. But yeah, anyways, that just came to me and I was like, holy shit, I need to read this. This here is like, yep, more authors, please do not let readers demand things from you and you cave and do it because you're afraid that you're going to lose readers. You're going to lose readers regardless of whether you do what they want or you don't do what they want. You will lose readers over time. That's just how it goes. Like for me, there are some writers I just don't read anymore because I'm not into their books anymore. That's a normal progression of what it is to be a reader. You're not going to continue reading this author 30 years later. You know, it's more rare. That's rare. If you're going to go and read this author 30 years later, because there are authors who change up their writing style, you know. I know some authors who used to be romance writers, but they're now more fiction or women's fiction authors. And, you know, you may not even like that type of, you know, stuff. Some readers will stick with an author for how many years, and then most don't, you know, there's a lot don't. You have to get in new readers all the time, you know? So to me, it's like, it didn't need to be that way, that she had to get to that point where she has to defend her assistant and she has to go and defend her whole career of like what she chooses to write and what characters end up with which character and all that stuff. It just really, come on now, you know. Go outside and touch some grass. Seriously. You really need to. There's only like one. There's one author that I follow. Her she's got a Facebook group. She's the only author I follow her Facebook group. The Ruby Dixon, she has her own page. There is a group, but I don't like being in the group. I'll just say I don't like being in the group because some of the readers in some of these groups, not a fan. Not a fan. So I choose to not be in reader groups anymore because it gets so toxic. And then you get people like, I was in the one Ruby Dixon reader group, and this person was like, I'm tired of people who pick on Tia, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. I'm like, because Tia's a bitch. Because Tia has done drama. And like, that's why a lot of people don't like her. So I'm like, look, if you like her, awesome. But don't complain when other people have critiques of this person, of this character. And then you're getting mad because people are picking on this character. It's a fictional fucking character. It's not real. You do realize that, right? She's not a real character. She's fake. It's from the author's imagination. It's just, there are readers out there that annoy the fuck out of me. So, I mean, I can understand where an author's coming from, where they're like, my readers are fucking idiots, like, especially if you have posted something, you read the fucking post. Even if it's a long post, you read the fucking post. Instead of being a freaking moron, going into the comment section saying, when is this book gonna be out? And in the post, it stated when it was gonna be released. It stated what the characters were gonna be about. It's like the fucking idiots who go and read the title for an article and don't read the fucking article. That's essentially what you are. You're some fucking idiot who doesn't choose to read. For someone who's a reader who doesn't want to read what's posted there? Really? You call yourself a reader and yet you don't want to read what's posted there. Instead, you look at the picture and then you go in and then you're like, when is this book out? When the fucking person said it when it was going to be out. Oh my God. I don't blame authors for having to put their foot down and say, look, enough, stop this. I don't blame Nora Roberts at all for being the way she was in that blog post. I don't blame her at all. Take those steps. Authors have boundaries. You cannot step over an author's boundaries. Do not fucking do that. This is why we say, as readers, we deserve our own reader space. So don't authors. Authors deserve their own reader space. They deserve their own space to create the characters they want to create, to create the storylines, to create the series. They have every right to have that boundary, to have that space for themselves. You do not have the right to demand things from an author. Absolutely ridiculous. So anyways, I wanted to make this post because I've been seeing stuff lately from readers, like there's some, shitty authors out there that say some stupid stuff and I'm just like, why? Why'd you say that? But there are some readers, like I'm in reader spaces and there are some readers that I'm just like, really? You had to post that. You had to post that. Really? I've tried helping out people who were readers when they were like, it's like a simple thing of like, somebody comes into like a Facebook group or something like that and they're new, they're new and they're like, oh, where do I start? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, you probably should start here, and I try to help people out, but it got to the point for me where it was such a toxic space to be in. I just can't be, I can't be in these private reader groups anymore. I can't do it. It's so toxic. People being catty and fighting with each other. And I'm just like, you know what? You need to get offline. You really need to get offline. If your anxiety or whatever you're going through is that bad, you need to take a breather away from social media. You really do, because You should not be starting arguments with people over fictional characters in fictional worlds. Yeah. You know, you really need to stop. You really need to stop. It's, you know, there's the thing where the person does something and you're like, you're done, you're done. That's basically what needs to happen. You'd be like, you're done. You know, if I was an author and some person's like being constantly rude, I'd give them warning and say, look, please do not be rude to my other readers. If you're going to continue to be rude, you need to leave this group or your ass is going to be banned. That's what I would tell them. I would write a little, you know, post or I, you know, message them and tell them, please do not be rude to my fellow readers. If you are going to be, you will be blocked. I will block you personally. Sometimes authors need to take that boundary and take that stand for themselves. Put your foot down. You are the one that's creating these books in these worlds. Put your foot down. There are some readers who, you know, are, what's the thing Charlie Murphy said, you know, habitual line steppers, you know, that's basically what they are. They're habitual line steppers, and they will take advantage if they know they can get away with it. Don't let them get away with it. Stand your ground. Authors, stand your motherfucking ground. So, but yeah, I liked that blog post. Go for her, you know? But yeah, that's it for this video here. Have you seen this with like readers where they're like really demanding? If you're an author, have you dealt with this yourself, you know, where people get really demanding of you and like, how dare you put these characters together? You should put these characters together. How dare you kill off this character? This character shouldn't have died, you know, that type of thing. Let me know in the comment section. But yeah, that's it for this video here. Have yourselves a good day. Take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and I will see you all on the next video. All right, bye.